And hello, everybody. It is Thursday, May 11th. It's another Calgary real estate show. I got my best, almost Western wear on, Jaden, because I'm going out to the country this afternoon.
Nice. Nice. You must be right in the middle of getting ready for tasting for the Calgary Stampede as well, eh?
Yeah, the list just came out, and let me see if I can do some fancy. Hold on, just for fun. And my dog is
Yeah,
being
like
annoying in the background, so we'll just
I heard about
apologize
a
for
neon
that.
hot dog. I heard about like a combination of that blooming onion poutine kind of thing. I've heard about a couple of things.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I don't know if I can share from my other computer here, but let me just take a look. Midway Foods. Let's just see. Let's just do this on the run. Hold on, hold on. We have the technology. We have the technology. Share screen. Uh,
And really, that's when you take up the cowboy. Like you've got a low level cowboy aesthetic that kind of goes on throughout the year, but your June into July takes up a notch, eh?
exactly. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, it's country music in my truck all year long. You can see I got a bit
Yep.
of a Western thing going on, but just for fun, just because we'll have a little bit shorter show today. But so I taste a lot of these foods. If some of you don't know, I'm on literally the food tasting subcommittee. It's Daily Food Awards is what it's called. So we award the best crazy pizza or best barbecue, best international. So some things that caught my eye, yeah, the Kool-Aid chicken burger, not super pumped
Eh,
about that one. This
nope.
Okaroni pizza looks good.
Hmm.
Okay, the deep fried, oh, it's not, there we go. The deep fried dad's cookies,
Ooh.
sign me up, right?
Yeah, that's a coronary in your hands right there, right? Like you you got a heart attack coming right around the corner.
Yeah, well, this is like going to Vegas. You don't do this every weekend. Well, I do it for
That's
about
true.
7 days out of the year. So I eat
But that
salads for about a week after.
but that Dunkaroos, and so I wasn't allowed to have Dunkaroos when I was a kid very often. So that's like a flash to the past of having them at my friend's house. This is fantastic.
Yeah, this poutine, talking about heart attack on a plate, this
Oh
poutine
yeah,
colossal onion. That
yeah.
looks really good. So our food vendors come up with all these new foods. Like you might look at it and go, oh, that's the Stampede. It's like, no, each individual vendor, and I believe poutine colossal onion, it's probably colossal onion is the name of the vendor. So
Yep.
these vendors come from all around Canada, some North America. I think now we'll see more from down in the States as well. I know one of our pizza vendors, Rick's Pizza, comes from the States. So anyway, lots of fun stuff. Go to calgarystampede.com and right at the front, because it's such a big deal. And this is the other one, deep fried banana balls. Yes,
Mm.
that's another
Yeah, my
sign
wife
me
my
up,
wife would be all over that. Yeah, for sure.
right? Anything
Yeah.
with like deep fried banana, chocolate, yeah, just very,
Sign
very
you right
yum.
up, hey?
All right, well let's get to what we're supposed to be talking about. But we digressed on some midway food. But yes, that is coming up, and super excited about that. The weather's warming up again this upcoming
Yep.
week, so it looks great. And Calgary real estate market, for a lame segue, we don't need any warm ups. We're hot, hot, hot right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So basically the same story, but even more a bigger spread between, not bigger, but big spread again between new listings and solds, for a total sale to new listing ratio of 146% this week. 370 solds, 252 new listings, 258 pendings, 96 price reduced, back on market 40. That's pretty typical. Days on market right around the same as last week. And then our active detached at 1,061, down slightly. Total active also down slightly at 2,314. And sorry, let me get to my other screen here. I'm doing this solo today. All right, so there's our real estate time machine. So we're always look at the total sales, same as last year. Like,
But then put that against the new listings. That is crazy.
right? Now that is deep fried banana balls right there.
That absolutely is.
That's deep fried banana balls. So yeah, I mean, people say what's going on in the market. It's like, well, what have you heard? Because this is what you should be hearing, is that it is
Yeah.
nuts out there right now. Same sales as last year in this past week. But keep in mind, like over the past few weeks, we've been like down 8%, 12%, not 20 and 30% like we were in March. So this is a good example. I think we may continue to see this throughout the rest of the month of May as people to try and get in, get a possession that's going to be in summer sometimes so they can get their kids settled in school if they got families, things like that. Active listings down 35% in this same week. Pendings down 15%. So if the pendings are down 15%, and again, look at the actual numbers, 1104 last year, 933 this year. So those pendings translate into sales in the next week, right? And the following 2 weeks after, typically. So our median price at 97%, don't really focus too much on that. And there you see the days on market at 23.
Yeah, and so really the interest rate story hasn't changed dramatically. A few things around the margins on the in the conventional side, which means that you put 20% down or more. So I think the 3-year and the 5-year on the fixed uninsurable came down slightly. Same thing with the fixed conventional, which is, as I said, that 25-year, but 25-year with 20% down. So not a lot of movement in interest rates, but it's still. I talk about this on a weekly basis at our networking group, and with a lot of my clients. It's still a really interesting time. A lot of people who are renewing or buying right now, they're scared to buy because of where interest rates are.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of strategy around that. I showed the 3 and the 5-year because they're the most common rates that are used historically, right? Most people want either a 3 or a 5-year for whatever reason. And the 5-year is just a big seller because that tends to be what makes the banks the most money. So they sell that one pretty aggressively, right? But really, there's a lot of value to be had in that, either in a variable right now, which is 1.5%, just about more than the 5-year fixed, or in a 1 or a 2-year. And the 1-year you're looking at 6.15%. The 2-year you're looking at around that 5.84, maybe a little bit less than that. But really, what we're seeing on kind of the backgrounds of the markets, and you're not really hearing this a lot in the media. The media just talks about, the job numbers were higher than expected, and inflation is going to last, and da da da. But a lot of the things that we're kind of seeing on the backgrounds of the money markets are kind of 12 to 18 months out, where we're going to see some really, really aggressive interest rate decreases going the other way. And so, if you're in that 5-year fix and then you have to, sell 3 years from now, what happens there is you're going from that 4.34, or if you're with a bank, it could be you're at actually 6.2 discounted to 4.34. The margin between that is what they use to create your penalty on the comparable rates going forward. So if rates go down significantly and for whatever reason you can't port to your next home, you could be in for a world of hurt. So just when you're making these rate decisions now, I know it's scary. Talk to multiple options. Talk to a broker who has access to multiple options, because if you're just talking to your bank, I don't think you're getting the full picture. So really interesting time. You really need to be talking to a professional right now.
And, I would liken that as we transition here to how to succeed as a buyer in this market. It's like if you're only going to look at new homes, right? Fantastic option for a lot of people. We've sold 2 brand new homes in Lanark and Airdrie in the last week. So it can be a fantastic option for you. And there's pitfalls and things you need to know about buying a new home as well. But you're only seeing a very segmented, very small segment of the market if you're only looking at new homes. And similarly, as Jaden said, talk to him, because you're going to get a multitude of different options compared to a bank.
Awesome. Absolutely. And going into the new homes thing, the one thing I'll say about that, I've heard clients say to me that, I don't need a realtor, it's a new home. I'll save money because the builder won't have to pay the realtor. And I'm going to come back on that and say that is absolutely not the case. Just anecdotally, a couple of years ago, I had a couple who did exactly that. They were working with me and another realtor, and the realtor went in and checked the price that for the exact same model that was sold 3 days before theirs. They paid $20,000 more than that person who walked in with the realtor. So just something to keep in mind. Absolutely, you're saving money with the realtor on a new build.
Yeah, and here's a quick example. Like, we wrote an offer yesterday, and you know what? They didn't end up agreeing to the one kind of credit that we wanted for an exchange of a fridge, because they'd already reduced the home $10,000. But without a realtor, my clients may not have had the know-how, all the different things that go along with that. And if you're
Absolutely.
going, let's just, to digress for like 30 seconds, when you're doing a brand new build, as my dog is dying outside because he wants to, go out and bark at other dogs. What upgrades should you do? Like, what should you do now versus later that you can do for a lot less money? Like
Hmm.
basements, garages typically are where builders really get you. Any upgrades, I don't know what their margins are on upgrades, but they are massive, massive, massive. So that's just an aside. But as we go to how to succeed as a buyer here, um, can you do it? Absolutely. We've done it many times over the last month here with many, many buyers. So, I put a few bullet points at the top there. So first is sale to list price ratio, stick to your budget, cream puffs, and 85%. It's like, Mark, we know
Yeah.
you're obsessed with dessert, but seriously. All right, so we're going to talk through this here real quick. So sale to list price ratio, what percent of the list price are homes selling for in the neighborhood that you're interested in? So here he comes. Now he's a good boy coming in here. So here's an example. So I literally just pulled this morning. Mahogany detached homes in the past 30 days with double attached garages in the $600,000 to $800,000 price point. There have been 5 sales. The average sale to list price ratio is 99.21%. Why is it important to know that? Well, in the past, prior to COVID and this market going crazy, if my client's budget was $700,000, I would absolutely put them on a search up to 725 because
Yeah.
we could get a bit of a discount. There was price reductions, things like that, because we knew that homes were selling for maybe 95 or 96% of list price in that 725 range, and that got them into their $700,000 budget. The opposite is true now. So although 99.2, let's just call it 100%. Don't go look at a home that's 710. Don't, for sure, not 720, right?
No.
So that's why I'm saying stick to your budget. Have a realtor like us that know what we're talking about with sale to list price ratios. So you're not going to fall in love with a house that you can't buy, right?
Yeah.
So that's one, sale to list price ratio, sticking to your budget, cream puff. So I have this conversation with every buyer that we talk to. When you walk into a home that shows well, that looks great on the outside, has a beautiful yard on an awesome street, close to schools, is priced for the market, that is a cream puff,
Yeah.
right? We used to say that about cars. Oh, that's a cream puff. Say that about houses too. So if you as a buyer think it's a cream puff, do you think other buyers are going to think it's a cream puff? Absolutely. And then there's the 85% home. Again, this is if you're a buyer that you've bought with us before, you're like, yeah, we've heard this one before, Mark. But it's so true. You have a checklist, right? There are no perfect homes out there. I mean,
No.
even I'm sure Richard Branson's estates, well, maybe his are perfect, but I've literally shown thousands of homes. There's never a perfect home. Even new builds, there's always something you would do differently. So what is the ratio that you want to look for? You want to look at 85%. Once you get to 85% of your checklist, take action, write an offer, because you might get to 90, maybe the odd time here and there. But if you keep disregarding homes that are 85%, you will actually never buy a house because there's never going to be the perfect one. So there's a few tips for you if you are if you're buying in this market. And as always, reach out to us on any of the avenues. We're on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. Reach out to us if you want some more information on how we help buyers and we succeed. And, a good portion of our multiple offer situations, oftentimes we don't even get to that, because the other thing we do is we give clients the urgency and we tell them what speed the market is at. Like right now, I'm going to leave that up as I just talk over this, but realistically, if you're in that 500, 600, 700 price point right now, you're going to have to go see the house on the first day. You will have to drop everything you're doing and go see it. We'll drop everything we're doing too, as much as we can to accommodate that. And just know that, and you may have to make a decision pretty quick. But because we've done the buyer consult with you, you're eliminating a lot of homes before we even go see them. We'll have that rolling top 3 in that funnel. So you're going to be able to make that decision a lot quicker. So anyway, there's my rant for today, but not a rant. It really is some practical solutions for people that are buying in this current market. No community events today. Talked a little bit about the Stampede. There's still the Thomas thing going on this weekend at Heritage Park. There's tons of events. So if you're not on our newsletter, actually our newsletter that just came out this week has a massive list of community events. So reach out. Let's get you signed up on that newsletter. And we share a ton of fun stuff during the week as well. Jaden, that's it for us.
Yeah, just happy Mother's Day to everybody out there this weekend,
Yes.
and have a great day. I'm hoping my sons have something planned for my wife and my 5-year-old and my 18-month-old. We'll see how that pans out. But
Yeah.
happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Yes. Happy Mother's Day. And Jaden, we'll see you and everyone else in 7 days.
Everyone, guys.